Hello everyone, welcome to our Bhagavad Gita Simple Understanding discussions, episode number 70. We'll be discussing text number 7.15 to 7.17. There's a long printing, it is not 7.5 to 7.15. Sorry for that. So, in the previous shloka, we had discussed how Krishna was explaining about the entire universe in him, and everything is made up of Rajas, Sattva, and Tamas Guna. And to overcome this sattva, rajas and tamas guna, one has to surrender to him. Devi isham gunamahi mama maya parantirate maam evaye prapatyante maya mitam tarantite. So maya, the whole maya can be only overcome when one surrenders to Krishna. So this is what he explained. Now today's discussions we will be discussing who are the kinds of people who won't worship or who won't surrender to Krishna, and what kind of people, under what circumstances and what need they surrender to Krishna. So this will be the discussion. Okay, so starting with the first sloka of the day, it is 7.15. So sloka reads like this: Namam duskrutino moodaha prapadyante naradamaha maya paratajnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. Those whose wisdom has been carried away by Maya and who are of demonic nature, such foolish and wild men of evil deeds do not worship me or do not adore me. Now, he says, Namam duskrutino muda. Duskrutino means, see, there are different kinds of activities. One is sukruti, which is to do good activities. One is kriti or karya, which is the duties which has to be performed. Other is duskruti, the duties which are prohibited to perform. Now, the kind of people who continuously do duskrutina, the kind of people who continuously do which is not recommended in scriptures or which is considered sinful in scriptures. So people who keep doing such activities, they never surrender to the Lord. So Krishna says duskrutina muda. Muda means and kind of ignorant or idiot kind of a person, muda. So there are people who are idiots, who are less intelligent, but there are also people who are purposefully less intelligent. Purposefully they don't want to understand things. Such people are called as duskrutina muda or rogues. Prapantyante naradamaha. Such people do not worship me, and they are called as naradamaha, lowest of mankind. Adama. Nara means humans, Adama means lowest. So Nara Adama. So these people who do not worship or who do not adore Lord Krishna are considered as Nara Adama. Why they don't worship? It is Maya Parhata Gnanaha, because their gnana, their knowledge is taken away by Maya. Maya means the illusionary of the world. The illusionary, which may be anything. It may be sex, it may be greed, it may be name, fame. So all those things are considered Maya. When a person is carried away by these things, when a person is carried away by his success, when a person is carried away by his knowledge, when a person is carried away by lust, when a person is carried away by opposite sex, when a person is carried away by his riches, when such things happen to a person, he loses his stability of mind. He gets carried away by the Maya, the illusion. As we know, the whole world is illusion, and all these things, like what we have mentioned now: greed, name, fame, woman, man, the riches, the earnings, the luxuries, even for that matter, the sufferings. See, all these are Maya. A person, when is carried away by Maya, he forgets the Lord. So that is how Krishna says, Maya parata gnanaha asuram bhavim ashrita. Such a person who gets carried away by Maya, by the illusions of the world, he becomes asura. Asuras, there are two kinds of people, suras and asuras. Suras are the people who follow the Vedic scriptures. Asuras are the people who do not follow the Vedic scriptures. So such people whose knowledge is carried away by Maya, they become asuram, and that bhava ashritaha, they get sheltered under asuram bhavam, asuram nature. So such kind of people do not worship God. This is, or worship Krishna. This is what Krishna simply explains. So that's how we find in this world, where there are many people, whether it be a Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian or a Sikh or whatever, they try to follow some philosophy, they try to surrender to some scriptures. So that means they are trying to learn something. But there are also certain kind of people who say everything is nil, everything is zero, we don't believe in God, we don't believe in this, we don't believe in that, everything is by automatic. Such people are called as Maya Parathas, because they feel that they have achieved something on their own because of their own uh, strive or their own capacity they have achieved. So that is the reason this kind of wisdom comes to them. Then moving forward, Krishna is going to explain who are the people who come to his ashraya. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम ज्ञाना सुकृतिनो अर्जुना अर्थो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरताश्रवा. See, Chaturvidha, there are four kinds of people who come to his surrendering. So, the four types of devotees of noble deeds worship me, Arjuna, the seeker after worldly possessions, the afflicted, the seeker of knowledge, and the man of wisdom. Oh, wisdom Bharatas. Now, there are four kinds of people, or even among us, we approach God, we go to the temples, or we remember the God for different reasons. And what are the reasons? These reasons are categorized into four, and these people are also categorized into four. They are the four types of devotees of noble deeds worship me, Arjuna, seeker of worldly possessions. That is Artho. Artho means seeker of worldly possessions. Each and every human has some desire to achieve in this world. They want to become the richest, they want to become the famous, they want to become the king, or they want to achieve some kind of possessions, material possessions. It might be a car, might be some land, might be some job. They want to land in a good job, or they want to have somebody wants to sell their property to become rich. Somebody wants to marry a rich person. Certain kinds of desires every human possesses. So when a person approaches God believing that God will fulfill his desires, such people are also considered pious. So certain people, in order to achieve, they go through crooked ways. Of course, it is not valid, but certain people believe in God that if I go and worship God, my desires will get fulfilled. So that is considered as one kind of sukriti. So the best example in scriptures is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, if you are aware, you can follow my page on Master of Predictions, where I have given the story from Narsimha Purana. Also, it is in Bhagavath Purana. It is also in Vishnu Purana, where Dhruva Maharaj wanted to become the king of the world, and he goes and approaches the God, and finally his desires gets fulfilled by following huge tapasya. So that is one example how a person who approaches God for worldly desires. That example was of Dhruva. The other person is Jigyasura. See, the other person is afflicted. Sometimes people get afflicted, sometimes they get into miseries, sometimes they get into sufferings. Because of these sufferings, they want to come out of the sufferings, and they believe that God will help him in getting out of it. So that is also one kind of sukriti. Now, only pious people under such circumstances go and surrender to God. Other people just surrender to other nonsense activities like drugs, this and that. Okay, so people who are afflicted, the best example is Gajendra. If you go to the scriptures in Srimad Bhagavatam, Gajendra was one of elephant. Previously he was a king, and in the life of an elephant, he gets caught in the fight between a crocodile. Crocodile bites his leg and holds on to his leg for thousands of years, and that Gajendra, due to pain, suffers a lot, and finally he surrenders to God with his prayers, called as Gajendra Moksha. And finally Vishnu comes and frees this elephant from the trouble. So that's how whenever there is some struggle or some trouble to people, we recommend them to chant Gajendra Moksha prayers. This prayers helps him to come out of the struggle what is undergoing in his life. The next, the seeker of the knowledge. Also, there are people who are not bothered about desires, they are not bothered about their sufferings. They want to know how the world is created, like the scientist community. So there are certain kind of people who want to know things as they are, how this happened, why this happened, what is the reason behind it for things to happen. This is called jignashu. People who are searching for knowledge, who are seeking knowledge. So that best example in scriptures is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj knew that his life is going to end in 7 days and he wanted to know what to do in these 7 days. At that time, he approaches Shukamuni and Shukamuni guides him. So this is the best example of seeker of knowledge. And after all this, there are people who are wisdom, who are aware of things as it is. After they have acquired the knowledge, everything, they know the fact. So the difference between Jignasu and Gnani is Jignasu is a person who wants to know. Gnani is a person who already knows. So Gnani, the person who already knows the facts of the creation, he worships Lord. So in this way there are 4 kinds of people. One is the person who desires worldly possessions. The second is the afflicted, the suffering one. The third is the seeker of knowledge who wants to know things. And the last one is wisdom. So according to this, the priority increases. The wisdom, people with wisdom are considered highest platform in devotional service. So this will also be explained in the next shloka. Let's see what it is. Okay, the 7.17. तेषां ज्ञानि नित्ययुक्तानाम् एकभक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रिय हि ज्ञानिनो अर्थामः स च मां प्रियः. I'll just try to read this shloka once again. I'll do my wrong pronunciation. तेषां ज्ञानि नित्ययुक्ता एकभक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनो अर्थामः अहं स च मां प्रियः. Of these, the best of the man of wisdom ever established in me and possessed of exclusive devotion. For I am extremely dear to the wise who knows me in reality, and he is extremely dear to me. So finally, Lord Krishna gives his verdict, whom he likes the most. So we understand here that Krishna likes the Gnani, the person who knows God as it is, and he worships God because of whom he is. So this is an interesting point. Of course, the other people who go for worldly desires, who are afflicted, and the other kind of people who are seeking knowledge. So these are all respected, accepted. But a person who knows everything, who knows God as it is, and he worships with full knowledge of who God is, such a person is very dear to God. So that is the verdict given by Lord. So it's a very interesting session. First, Krishna explains that he is present everywhere in this universe. I am just summarizing this chapter till now. First, he explains how he is present in everything that is in the world. Then he says that the whole world is full of me and nothing is out of me, and how the whole world has divided into rajas, tamas, and rajogunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva gunas, and how to overcome this sattva, rajas, and tamas gunas. One has to surrender to him. He's finally explaining who surrenders to him and who doesn't surrender to him, and what kind of people don't surrender. That is Maya Paratajnana. And now he's explaining what are the 4 people who surrender to him and who among them is very dear to him. So very interesting. That is how Bhagavad Gita, when analyzed or dissected shloka by shloka, one will enjoy the essence of it. So we'll be ending the class today. So thanks to Bhagavad Gita Tattva vichettanni, which has helped us to get this shlokas and knowledge. Thank you very much.